guys, welcome to the Nichols Lures ShopDrop. I'm Brooks Woodward, and today we're going to be talking all about the Skipper Jig. So here at Nichols, we have kind of a philosophy on jigs, and that philosophy is that every jig has a purpose. And what that means is there's really no good jig for everything. Every jig is a tool in your toolbox of fishing lures. And so what that means is that for every given application, we're going to try to have a jig that's made exactly for that application. Whether that be swimming grass or bouncing off brush on the bottom, dragging over shell beds, whatever it may be, we've got a specific jig for that application. This jig, the Skipper Jig, as its name implies, is made for skipping docks. There's a few features on this jig that really make it excel at its namesake skipping. What it's going to have, the first thing that you're going to notice is it's got a pretty flat, traditional Arky style head. It's a little bit wider than most that you may have seen before, and that's really going to make it just like a rock that you're going to take and skip across the surface of the water. It gives this jig a lot of surface area so that when you sling it under something, it's really going to be able to skip really nicely. On the business end, this jig has got a nice mustad hook that's got a horizontal line tie. And the reason that's important, so traditionally when I'm designing jigs, and there are definitely some exceptions to this rule, but usually when I'm designing a jig, if I want the jig to come over and onto things, I'm going to usually put on a horizontal line tie. If I want it to come through things like grass or vegetation, that's usually when I'm going to go with the vertical line tie. So the Skipper Jig, since it's made to get up under docks, come over brush that could be under those docks, the dock pilings, it's going to have a horizontal line tie so that you can get it in and out of there as easily as possible. A few features that this jig has over its competitors is it's got our 3D metal flake finish on the head. That's going to give it a really shiny, glossy, pretty look with glitter that's going to match the skirt. And it's also going to be really durable because when you're skipping jigs and you're hitting the pilings, you're coming through brush, you're going to chip those heads. And this 3D metal flake finish is really durable and chip resistant. The other thing it's got that's really special and unique to Nichols is our patented Toothpick Keeper Collar. So if you look under the skirt, you're going to see a barb that's got a hole through it. And we're going to show you exactly how to use that. Using the Toothpick Keeper Collar is extremely simple and can save a ton of time in the long run. First, select your trailer. For a skipping jig, I like a trailer that's a little bit wider bodied so that it can really glide across the surface of the water. Next thing you want to do is slide your chunk all the way down the shank of the hook, just like this. You want it as straight as possible and even, just like that. When you get to the barb, go on and shove that bait all the way over that lead barb. Next, take the included toothpick, stick it through that soft plastic, and sometimes you got to root around a little bit, but find that hole that's in that lead barb and shove it all the way through, just like that. Finally, take yourself a pair of pliers, and all you have to do is snip the toothpick flush to the soft plastic bait, and you're good to go. Now you've got your chunk nice and tight up to the head of that jig for cast after cast. Our patented Toothpick Keeper Collar is without a doubt the most important feature of the Nichols Lures Skipper Jig. That's because it helps you avoid one of the most frustrating things about skipping jigs under docks, and that's when your pants fall down, right? When you get that trailer and you slide it up under a dock nice and perfectly, and you bring it out, and what do you know? The trailer's all wrapped up, it's come down the hook shank, it's twisted. That toothpick is going to keep it nice and tight so that the entire time you're fishing this trailer, until a fish comes and tears these legs off, it's up nice and snug on the head of that jig. So next time you guys are looking for a jig that's going to get you anywhere you need to go up under docks and pilings, go on and reach for the Nichols Lures Skipper Jig. Thanks for joining us on this week's Nichols Lures Shop Drop. I'm Brooks Woodward, and we'll see you next time.